And now let's go back to products. And what we want now is we want to be able to go and assign, have a tab here where we can assign to our, picked a bad, like garlic herb chicken, for example, all the nutrients that go with that particular product, or diet items might be a better one to look at. So for our cheesy corn. So again, if you're ambitious, remember we've already added a notebook, we've already added a page, and we've already inherited in here. So you know how to inherit inside this form. In fact, this form already exists. So you know how to do this from earlier parts of this video, but this is, this is a masterclass video. The idea is to really drill it in, how to build things in Odoo. So I'm not leaving you on your own, but I am kind of giving you a little bit of a challenge here, a little bit of an exercise to see if you can't go ahead and add another page to this notebook and see if you're able to create the nutrients on this form. And now I don't expect everyone to be able to do this, but it is important that you at least try to think ahead a little bit about what the process would be. Even if you can't complete it, go ahead and think about what would you do to add the page to this notebook and have the nutrients listed out there so you can add and edit them for a particular product. Okay, so hopefully you paused the video. Hopefully you tried a little bit to do this yourself. But now we're going to walk through how we do it. And you'll notice that, I'm going to go right back to our diet facts view here. And I already, again, you want to think about where you're going to be needing to make your changes first. And I know that I'm going to need to make my changes here inside of my form view for where we've right here added, remember we've updated the form view so that we have calorie, servings, and last updated. And that's visible right here. So we know that that's where we want to get started with. But the thing to remember now is that we need to add a field, a page to this notebook. What you're going to have to do here that's a little bit different is you're going to have to find the position of where to put the page. And if we go here to our code, you'll notice here we're using a position after. And we can use the same kind of thing with our pages. So if I copy this and paste it down here, we can go in here and say field name, but rather than field, we could try page name. And then after our page name, well, which page do we want? Well, if we go here, we can see that we have a sales page. So why don't we start by dropping that page in right after our sales page? So I go here and I put in sales and after, and I'm gonna end the page again. And let's go ahead and make a page for our nutrients. So we say page name equals nutrients. And we're going to end the quote there for our name. And let's go ahead and give it a string equals nutrients. And let's end that page. Now, I'm going to go ahead and save this and stop and start the server and see if we get any errors with that. And we do. And what do we get here? Oh, a missed spelling for sure. So let's make sure that says what we expect and restart it again. And this time we got no errors. So look how I started out simply here, just saying page name sales, position after, and then the page nutrients. So now let's see if that actually shows up here. And there it is, nutrients. And it's blank. We haven't put anything in it yet. But what we were doing was, again, incrementally testing this out. So if you were trying to think this through yourself, it was a tough exercise to make the leap to understand that here we're using field name, list price, and positioning after. Here we're looking for a page name, sales, and positioning after it, another page. So it's combining what we learned down here. I'm going to scroll down from when we made our page for meal items. But of course we had to create a situation in where we're adding on, and that's why this page name sales position after is important here, so that we can decide where we want our page to show up when we're adding it to a view that's already there. So the next thing we want to do is we want to start our tree view. So we can go here again and type field name equals, and we have to think about, well, what do we want here to show up? Well, we're missing something. And what are we missing? Well, even though we've created, and some of you might be ahead of me, but even though we've created our nutrient here listing, so we have a list of all our nutrients, and we've created our join table here that has our nutrients and our product IDs, what we don't have is anything that ties them to our actual product template. In other words, right here under our product template, we have not specified our nutrient IDs and given a place for them to actually show up. So let's go ahead and do that. So we have nutrient IDs equals fields dot one to many, because we can have many nutrient IDs attached to this one. So notice how here we have many to one, and here we have one to many. So one to many means we can have many nutrient IDs here in our product template, as many as we want. And so now we're going to go product.template.nutrient. And so this is what's going to tie the nutrient IDs to here. So I can actually copy it from here and paste it up here. Just like that. And in this case, we need to tell it that we want to tie it to the product ID in that table. In this table. Now this is our key right here that we want to make sure we're tied to. And then now here we can just say nutrients is what we want to call them. And that's good enough for now. We're going to hit save. And in this case, I'm just going to leave this for now, nutrient IDs. And usually I wouldn't put this in yet until I made sure that we had successfully added this field to the model. I'm going to go ahead and risk it this time. And we do need to end off this field. That's why we're getting this error right here. So we need to make sure that this is good. So we are going to go ahead and try and show our nutrient IDs there. We got the warnings from our access rights. But let's go ahead to diet items. Click on one of them here and go to nutrients. And now we can see that the list is starting to show up. We got the nutrient IDs showing up here. Now let's go ahead and make the tree so that we can see it the way we need to see it. So we're going to say tree editable equals bottom, because we want to be able to edit these in line. We got to end our tree. And now we got to decide, okay, what do we want to see in the tree? We want, obviously, the nutrient ID to be first. So this is where we're going to be able to pick the nutrient. And then for our field name, we have value. And we also have the final field that we know we want, which is the daily percent. And we just want to make sure we name that right. It'll be down here, daily percent. And save that. And so now we've actually defined our tree view. Let's go back again. Stop and start our server. Now we got an error. Let's see what it says. Nutrient ID does not exist. It would be very easy for me to go back and just chop off the error and the mistake I made so that you would never see it, never know it happened. But it's important that we do have some errors in this, and that we take this opportunity when there are errors so that you can learn how to find and correct them. And in this case, it's telling us nutrient ID does not exist, and it sent me off looking for what might be wrong in my models or where something might be incorrect. And what I found after looking just a little closer at what's going on here, if you look at this XML, now maybe somebody else out there already smarter than I was here in this particular case sees the problem. But what has happened is that this XML is saving okay, and it looks like it's the correct syntax here. There's no errors showing up inside of Eclipse because all my tags are closed properly. But unfortunately, the architecture is incorrect for what Odoo expects. And what the problem is this one simple little slash right here that's ending off this field. This needs, after I end it here, to be encapsulating the entire tree. And so what was happening, because it was ending here, there was no way for nutrient ID value or daily percent, any of these, to know what they exist from or how they got their values. And in this case, it's getting them from field names nutrient underscore IDs. So let's save that back now, and let's restart our server and see if we get any errors now. And we still got our warnings there, but magically our errors have gone away. And if we go back here to our diet items and pick one, you can go to nutrients, and there we have our product nutrient, our nutrient value, and our daily recommended value. So let's hit edit, and let's add a product nutrient. And so let's go here and pick total fat. We can just go up here and see that that's 20 is our nutrient value, and that our daily recommended value is 31. And we can add another item. Let's pick protein, and we can see we have 15 grams and it's 30%. So we go 15 here and 30 here.